我说中文
Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese. Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese.
Hi, welcome to Chinese Pod. We're bringing you lessons in spoken Mandarin. We're here in Shanghai, China. My name is Ken Carroll.
And I'm Jenny.
And today's lesson is an elementary lesson, and it is
Part of a series.
Indeed, the series on the Olympics. So we're talking about the Olympics today, and in specific terms, we're talking about the Olympic marathon.
Yeah, one of the toughest events.
Indeed, the Olympic marathon. Not something I've ever been accused of doing, an Olympic
Not
marathon.
anything, I
No.
would ever dream of doing.
No. But anyway, it's a very useful term to know, vis-a-vis the Olympics.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it today. Now, do you want to choose a key word to give us some context here, Jenny?
Sure. I'll pick an obvious one.
Yes.
马拉松马拉松
Ma la song. Could you tell us the tones there?
Third, first, and first.
Third, first, and first. So let's listen again how those three sounds combine.
马拉松
Ma la song.
Well,
okay.
clearly it's a transliteration
It's a
of the English
translation.
marathon.
Marathon. That's what it is. The marathon. So marathon. And here it is all the way from Greek, because I think marathon is a Greek word.
It's the
All
name
the
of a
way.
place, right?
I think it might be. Yeah. And so here it is all the way from ancient Greece to modern China. The marathon. And we're going to talk about it today. Why don't we sit back now and listen to this dialogue 3 times?
对话第一遍，
你觉得奥运会最艰苦的项目是什么？当然是马拉松，要跑42公里呢。那选手们肯定不容易。我很佩服他们。
第二遍，
你觉得奥运会最艰苦的项目是什么？当然是马拉松，要跑42公里呢。那选手们肯定不容易。我很佩服他们。
第三遍，
你觉得奥运会最艰苦的项目是什么？当然是马拉松，要跑42公里呢。那选手们肯定不容易。我很佩服他们。
Oh, I learned a lot
Did you?
from the dialogue.
Really?
Yeah, I learned the distance, for instance.
Yeah. Well, I learned some Chinese, so that's good.
Works for everybody.
Great, yeah. Why don't we do the translation?
Sure. 你觉得奥运会最艰苦的项目是什么？
Which Olympic event do you think is the toughest?
你觉得奥运会最艰苦的项目是什么？
Which Olympic event do you think is the toughest?
你觉得奥运会最艰苦的项目是什么？当然是马拉松，要跑42公里呢。
Of course, it's the marathon. You have to run 42 kilometers.
当然是马拉松，要跑42公里呢。
Of course, it's the marathon. You have to run 42 kilometers.
当然是马拉松，要跑42公里呢。那选手们肯定不容易。
Well, it's certainly not easy for those runners.
那选手们肯定不容易。
Well, it's certainly not easy for those competitors.
那选手们肯定不容易。我很佩服他们。
Yeah, I really admire them.
我很 佩服他们。
Yeah, I really admire them.
我很佩服他们。
Okay, now this is an Ellie, so we won't go through every detail here, and we'll just pick out the juicy bits to drill down. Now, 你觉得 is the question in the first thing, and that is what do you think, or what's your opinion? And I think we've covered that before. So let's look at some of the other words. Now, I think the subject of this sentence here is really about the event.
That's true.
An event is called
项目
项目, and that sounds like
，two fourth tones.
yeah, 4 and 4. 项目. Now, tell us about this expression 项目.
项 means a category.
Category.
Yes.
Good.
And there's not really a way of separating the words. Just remember 项目.
Okay.
Category.
Great
event.
category. Yeah. Can it be used in any other contexts? 项目.
Yes, it can also mean a project.
Project.
Yes. Yeah.
In fact,
the
it
business
is.
contact rings a bell too.
Indeed, it's a project. And even project manager, I think,
Yeah.
uses the same terms.
true.
How do you say project manager?
项目经理.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's a project or an event. In this case, used in a sports context, it means an event. Now, the word for tough.
艰苦. 艰苦.
Now, 艰苦, as in first and third,
Yes.
艰苦, means
Well, let's try the second character. 苦 means
Yes,
bitter.
bitter.
So it's something not very pleasant.
yeah, not very pleasant. And 煎, the first 煎, what is that?
Means an ordeal.
Ordeal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ordeal bitter. Wow. And this is used in many ways. I mean, I remember when I first got to China and lived in a fairly 艰苦 apartment,
Conditions,
right? And
right,
people
yeah.
say, "Oh, you're foreigners, and we're living in very 艰苦."
That's true.
And we'd say, "Yeah, we're going native." As we were young. And anyway, it was...
Of course, now it's all changed.
it's still very 艰苦, I can assure you. So those are the two things. So let's listen to that sentence again.
你觉得奥运会最艰苦的项目是什么？
Great. Now, I just want to look at the toughest, that expression.
最艰苦.
Now, we heard that 艰苦 means tough.
Yeah.
And 最, as in the fourth tone, 最艰苦, meaning the toughest.
toughest.
This is the superlative at work here.
A lot of students of Chinese Pod tell us while they love to speak and listen to Mandarin, they are a bit intimidated to learn how to read and write in it because of the complexity of Chinese characters. That's why we created the 66 Characters series. Try it and see for yourself.
And 最 can be used with essentially any adjective
Yes.
to create.
Yeah, Chinese
that
is
effect.
very simple in that way. You just add 最.
最. Yeah, it's very,
before.
very... So let's have a couple of examples. The biggest.
最大的.
Okay. The youngest.
最年轻.
Okay, so I think you get the idea here. And one more. The best.
最好.
Okay, you get the idea. Now, 当然是马拉松啊。当然, of course, we've covered it, and it means
Of course.
Right? 当然, great word. First tone, second tone. 当然, it's indicate of course. Now, of course, in my opinion, that is implied there. Of course, it's the marathon.
当然是马拉松.
Now, 马拉松, just try to remember together if you need to say it. It's the 马拉松. It's the, and it's a transliteration. It's meant to sound like
Marathon.
I won't go into the specific meanings there because it's not such a high frequency
Yes.
word. And we can push on. Now, the second part of this reply was...
要跑42公里呢.
Oh, yeah. So kilometers in Chinese is...
公里. 公里.
公里, and that's first and third.
Third,
Now,
yes.
I found one way to remember this is to contrast it with the famous actress whose name is...
巩俐. 巩俐.
So that's the tones on 巩俐 are...
Third and fourth.
So you don't say, I ran 42 Gonglis because that's her name, right? So I went 42.
I'm trying to picture what that...
42 Gonglis, it would be a lot.
Yes.
So
and
yes.
she's inimitable, so
She
there's
is.
no way to have 42
She is
Gonglis.
very special. No question about that. Now, so one more time. Let's hear that. 42 kilometers.
42公里.
Yeah, 公里, as in the first tone and third tone. 公里. There you go. Now, here's a very simple but very interesting construction. You need to run.
要跑. 要跑
Now, 跑, third tone means
yes,
to run.
Yeah.
And the verb 要 meaning
You
to
need to
want.
Yes.
Now, essentially, it's very idiomatic. In English, was you have to run 42 kilometers. You need to. So Chinese works in a very similar way. It says 要, but it's very simple.
Yes.
And you don't need a pronoun. You just use the verb to need. And in this case, 要跑.
Yeah.
You have to run. And in this case, it was 42 kilometers. Very efficient.
Yes.
I would say. Now, the next sentence we had, it sort of roughly translated. I translated it as well. It's certainly not easy for the runners. Let's take a look at that sentence.
那选手们肯定不容易。
Now, 容易, the expression means easy. And the tones are?
Second and fourth.
Now, 容易, great phrase. Learn it and use it because it's very common. And then you have not easy.
不容易。不容易。
Now, 不容易 is a great expression. It's often used as a compliment as well. If you
Yes.
do something, someone says, wow, 不容易.
不容易.
That's not easy to do.
It's
in
like,
other words.
oh, that's, yeah.
What you've just done is pretty damn good there. 不容易.
Quite an achievement.
Indeed, it's 不容易. And not that I hear that very often.
Neither do I.
Yeah, well, that's what it means. 不容易. Well done, in a sense. Now, 肯定 is another great expression. 肯定. Third tone, fourth tone. Right?
Yes.
And it means
Certainly.
certainly,
For sure.
And that again can be used to create a sentence or an answer.
Yeah.
So if somebody says, look, will you be here at that time? You'll say,
肯定。
肯定.
肯定.
No question about it. 肯定. Now, what I want to look at, 肯定不容易 means for sure it's not easy.
Yeah.
And that's a great lexical chunk right there. 肯定不容易, for sure that's not
肯
easy.
定不容易。
不容易. Now, what I want to look at is this term 选手.
A very juicy vocab.
It is.
Put it in your words.
It is, yeah. Now, in this context, it means competitor. The competitor is in the race.
Yes, that's
Okay,
true.
because we're talking about the marathon.
Yeah.
And the two elements in 选手 are,
选 third tone
yes,
means to have been selected.
yes,
Right?
okay.
And 手 third tone. In Chinese, besides the meaning hand, it
Yes.
can also mean person. Of expertise.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
The
yes.
expertise part is
Excellent.
implied. Yeah.
Great. Now, this is really interesting stuff. So you have the 选, the third tone, 选手. Now, 选 means 选择的选. It
Yes.
means to choose.
Yeah.
Right? And the 手, as in third tone, means hand, as you say. Yeah. So the word 手 is often used to indicate a person.
Person, yes.
Right. I first, when I heard this expression, I thought, does it mean something like handpicked? It doesn't. The 手 refers to
A person.
the person of ability
Yes.
or
Yes.
some skill.
That's right.
And basically, so when it's used in this context, it means someone who is competing.
Yes.
Yeah. And it also, does it imply that they have competed previously to get to where they are
Yeah,
at this
like they've gone through the selection process.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's a competition, right?
Indeed.
And there
Yes,
must have been some
yes.
pooling.
Great. So that's the one that you use if you're watching the TV with your friends or you're in Beijing with your friends and you're watching anything. You know, in a given race, you'll talk about the 选手.
选手, yeah. And in fact, in most of the sports, you say 选手.
Yeah. Great. Now, when you're really impressed by these types of people, you might say,
我很佩服他们. 我很佩服他们.
now, 佩服 is a great word, easy to remember, I find. 佩服, fourth tone, and it just has a nice ring to it. 佩服.
佩服, yeah.
And it means to
admire, yeah.
Just as we all really pay for you, Jenny.
Oh,
we do.
please don't.
We really pay for you.
我们佩服 Ken.
Oh, really? This is great. Mutual Appreciation Society here.
Good for our self-esteem.
Yeah, but it's just a way to practice as well.
Yes, that's
isn't
true.
it? 佩服.
That's the whole point.
Indeed. Now, 我很佩服他们. I really admire those guys. And you could use that, like, I really admire him, you could say.
我很佩服他.
Good. And I really admire them.
我很佩服他们.
Great. Now, we really pay for you if you are doing your homework and going to ChinesePod.com and
Yes, that's
studying
true.
and getting all of that stuff down. But for now, I think we could listen to this three more times.
对话第一遍。
你觉得奥运会最艰苦的项目是什么？当然是马拉松，要跑42公里呢。 那选手们肯定不容易。
我很佩服他们。
第2遍，
你觉得奥运会最艰苦的项目是什么？
当然是马拉松，要跑42公里呢。
那选手们肯定不容易。
我很佩服他们。
第3遍，
你觉得奥运会最艰苦的项目是什么？
当然是马拉松，要跑42公里呢。
那选手们肯定不容易。
我很佩服他们。
Okay, that's good. We hope that was useful. And if you are a person who is running the marathon, I say, I really do 佩服非常的佩服你。
对。
Because that's a great thing to do. Now, I think we have to go, Jenny.
Yeah,
I think it's that time. Don't forget to do your homework out there. And don't forget to come back tomorrow because we'll be here again. For now, however, it's time for us to say
再见。
It's ChinesePod.com. If you tell 2 friends, then they will tell 2 friends, who in turn will tell 2 more friends, till eventually we find someone with no friends. But hey, we got the word out. It's Mandarin on your terms. ChinesePod.com.
As usual, ChinesePod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number 0320. So just go to www.chinesepod.com/0320 and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again, www.chinesepod.com/0320.